Xingqiu, at your service, my liege. I humbly trust that even one such as I, a mere bookworm, may yet prove to be of some utility under your wise leadership. Nice. I don't often get a chance to speak with such formality. It felt pretty good. 'Twas on a deserted moonlit night that the hero approached the vile dragon's limpid lair. I never embark on a journey without a good book to accompany me. Now, this is what I call a moment of solitude. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Wow. Huh? All will be revealed in the next volume? Oh, drat. If my calculations are correct, Wanwen Bookhouse is due to receive a batch of new releases today. Might we add a small detour to our adventure? My family makes ornate umbrellas that block neither rain nor shine. Their sole purpose is for decoration upon a wall. Good. The rain has stopped. Any longer, my books would have gotten wet. Only when it snows like this would I prefer to be at home than in a bookstore. For there is a well-stocked fireplace at home, while there is no fire allowed in bookstores. Great weather for practicing martial arts, but perfect weather for reading. Hey, what's that ridiculous look for? You look as if you're trying to decipher some strange text written on my forehead. Morning. The morn hours are precious. Spend them on that which matters to you. I am uninclined to eat a heavy meal this luncheon, but instead indulge in some baked treats. As long as I eat in the study, my father and brother never have to know. Oh, you want to join me? Well, as long as you don't get crumbs on the books, I suppose it's fine. What say you we snatch a few fireflies and read in the light they give? Hey, I'm joking. Seriously, don't. It's bad for your eyesight. You will find me in the same place as ever tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Unless you manage to get lost on the way. I always have to put on an act around other people, because they see me as only the second son of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. It's a relief that I can just be myself around you. I think it's because you don't see me in the same way. I would say we are book buddies. Huh? Combat? Guhua clan? Comrades in arms? What on earth are you talking about? I told you that's our little secret. We should become sworn siblings. Let's go to the altar at Jeyun Karst. Nope, no ifs, no buts. You know too much about me. You know the real me, the one I normally have to hide. I simply can't let you go until you promise me you will go through with it. There aren't many records on matters concerning visions, but I do have a passage dedicated to the topic in my collection of ancient texts. I can lend it to you if you want. I've come to an epiphany based on some things I've been reading. Ultimately, the arts of both the polearm and the sword are just the art of hand-eye coordination. It's a little difficult to explain. If you want to know more, come with me to Wangshan Hall. But first, you have to promise me you won't laugh. Must-see places in Liyue? That's a tough question. The place I would miss the most if it disappeared would be the Wanwen Bookhouse, first and foremost. The Guhua sect would be in the top 10, too. I used to like rabbits, but I'm more a fan of stags now. To me, the saying, "May my final stand be a monument to chivalry," is about abandoning worldly possessions and reaching enlightenment. But the stag's final resting place represents the hope for life anew. Oh, how I'd love to see it again. I have great respect for Lady Beidou. I just wish she wouldn't call me kid and ruffle my hair each time she sees me. In her capacity as the Tianquan, I'm obliged to respect her. Otherwise, it could create issues for my father and brother. On a personal level, let me think. I think I will go with no comment. I shan't speak ill of others. Dear Chongyun. Though he understands me quite well, one has to exercise caution when teaming up with him to go on a quest. He is making good progress in the martial arts, but I would say he hasn't quite internalized the chivalric code yet. He needs more practice. Especially at eating spicy food. When Yunjin drinks a beverage she is fond of, she will be inspired to write a new play. So, I keep a jar of tea leaves under my bed at all times, ready to deliver to her on the day that her inspiration dries up. This way, I shall never run out of heroic tales to listen to. Ah, yes, the young lady who is now the master of the Wangshen funeral parlor. If you're asking what I think about her as a person, well, there are all sorts of rumors about the way she works. But I think if you really want to understand someone, you need to find out what they are really after. I've always thought there is more to Chi-Chi than meets the eye, but it's impossible to have a conversation with her when Baiju's around. We could wait till Baiju makes a home call to one of his other patients and corner her. When you first spot Xiangling out and about, the first thing you should do is check the look on her face, especially when she's just coming back from collecting new ingredients. The more excited she looks, the more dangerous it is to approach. Because if she sees you, she'll force you to taste test her latest concoction. I usually get Xingqiu to handle these situations. Where does Xinyan perform? Anywhere from Churro Rock to Yujing Terrace. No spot is untouched by her disruptive presence. A quiet day when I can curl up with a good book is a rare treasure indeed. I've thought of all the illustrations I want for each major event in the next 3 volumes. I should write my thoughts down before I forget them, and send them to Mr. Quai de Prince. My father and brother entertained that gentleman as a guest once. From the way they were acting, he must be a very high-profile figure indeed. I also heard that he directs funerals for the Adepti, so he must surely have great depth to his character. We should do some digging and see what we can find out about him. I find that Miss Xingqiu seems to look at me somewhat fiercely, so I daren't approach her lightly. Bizarre. Did I inadvertently upset her? Or maybe upset someone close to her? Have you heard the expression, same person, different face? Miss Yelan gives me precisely this feeling. When she came to visit my family, my father and brother treated her with respect, and she was pleasant and polite in return. She seemed like a kind and mature young lady to me, but when I saw her elsewhere, she gave a completely different impression. Are you keeping well, my liege? If you have no other matters to attend to, might I recommend a trip to the Wanwen Bookhouse? You ask why I enjoy reading in solitude? Studiousness can hardly be considered a bad habit. There's not much more to it than that, really. Your schedule is free today? Wonderful. I am ready to leave whenever you are. My book? Oh, never mind that. I can always pick up where I left off when I get back. But those in distress who need our assistance cannot afford to wait. You feel inspired, you say? You want to write a martial arts detective novel based on our adventures together? And you want to call it The Chronicles of Wanwen? It's a good idea, it really is. But I'll have to decline. I'm sorry. Yes, really. A weaver of verses who draws from an ocean of expression. That's the reputation I aspire to. But you're the only person I can share that with. I am actually writing a novel, but I can't let you see it. Not yet. The time will come, though. You'll be able to read it when it's on sale in bookstores all over Lille. Evidently, my hobby is reading. I'll read anything and everything. What's that mischievous grin for? Oh, that's between the two of us, okay? It's not appropriate to discuss it out loud. There's no point in bringing it up anyway. What annoys me? Well, one day my brother will inherit the family business. What will happen to me then? I fear my current carefree existence would... Oh, no. It's not about my status or anything like that. I don't care for that kind of thing. I think my brother is something of a simpleton, and I would probably end up having to do most of his job for him. I like baked goods and US-style seafood, probably because I'm used to quite a bland diet at home. I hate carrots. When I was young, my mother would mash them up into... Ugh, I can't go on. Just thinking about it makes me feel sick. I need only sample this delight but once for its aroma to remain forever in my memory. With cooking skills as good as yours, it'd be a waste not to open a restaurant. Wouldn't you agree? I couldn't possibly. But please, you eat your fill. I insist. Ahem. May this day of your birth be filled with much mirth. According to historical records, Tiancheng's stone bridge was formed by a fallen rock spear thrown by the Geo-Archon Morax in battle. If you walk along the bridge on your birthday and throw some more into the sea from both sides, you will be blessed in the coming year. Your birthday only comes once a year, so be quick about it if you want to go. I'm not kidding, it's true. Go try it and you'll see. Were it not for my capability, the cause that so inspires me would remain confined to the pages that extol its virtues. Had I no moral compass, my efforts would have been misguided. Doomed to grasp at shadows, while missing the substance, I would have become a Philistine that seeks only violence. There is a cause that I seek to champion, yet few in Liyue share my aspiration. This I have known for a long time, for it is a path I have walked for many years. Rain outlines your fate. Huh? No, my sword! Witness the power of Guhua. Let me weave you a verse. Rain cutter. Body and mind. Time to act. Excellent. Treasure hunting, a valiant endeavor. I hope we find long-lost ancient literature. Change of plans. I can no longer hold back. May my final stand be a monument to chivalry. Come, I have devised a plan. Tread carefully. I have taught you everything I know. The brightest flames burn fastest. I am outplayed. A minor setback. I let my guard down. Not good. May knowledge guide you. Chivalry will never die. For justice. Right on cue. I was just wondering whether you might appear. Even if it were to exist solely upon the page, this teapot realm would not fail to inspire. And yet here I am, perceiving it with my own senses. Naturally, I couldn't be happier. Not to mention... well, I can read at my leisure here, for hours on end, without any fear of interruption. Ah, the perfect getaway. Shh, not so loud. I wouldn't dream of neglecting any of that. But please, don't let anyone else hear you talking about it. My father and brother are always ready to give me another earful. Right on cue. I was just wondering whether you might appear. But of course, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. Tell me, what have you been doing recently? Magnificent! Acts of pure chivalry by the sound of it. Oh, how I would love to take up the sword with you, pursuing justice throughout the land. A pity that it will have to wait until some point in the future. But if we're talking about the here and now... oh, I got it! Why don't we have ourselves a little contest? First to 100 chivalrous acts wins. There are no restrictions on the nature of the act or the beneficiary. But you need to keep a tally. Once the act is completed, it should be verified by the other party. Oh, don't mind me. Just don't expect to win too easily. Right on. I was just wondering... oh, well, if you have the time, I'd like to get your critique on this short story I wrote. That was then, and this is now. In any case, you are a part of this story. I assume you're familiar with the proverb, be it but 3 moons from the start. He who returns is not he that departs. So, anyway, I won't bore you. Feel free to peruse it at your own pace. Okay, geez. We know each other pretty well by now. No need to get all sappy. So remember, I want your honest opinion. That way, the sequel will be even better. Right on cue. I was just wondering whether you might appear. Good morning. Oh, don't forget our arrangement. If you witness an injustice on the road, please fetch me. Right on cue. I was just wondering whether you might appear. Good night. Rest well. I'll make sure to highlight any particularly enthralling passages I encounter and share them with you later. Your study is indeed unique. All of these rare books. Many of them can hardly be found at Wanwen Bookhouse, or even in all of Liyue. If I may so ask, where do you usually collect your literature? Perhaps you could share a tip or two with a friend, my liege?